Ruben with that spray down.
Oh!
Will be the peak of Crossfire Philippines battle.
Handa na ba kayo sa isang bakbakan ng bardagulan ng apat na teams na natitira? Dito lamang yan sa regional finals ng Crossfire Philippines. But before that, it's nice to say and it's nice to introduce the Filipino Crossfire to our, international viewers out there. Welcome to Filipino Crossfire or Crossfire Philippines, and of course ni Hama Yanying Laidao Crossfire Fei Rubin. So if mali yung pronunciation ko doon, well, we have to deal with it kasi nandito tayo ngayon sa Crossfire Philippines, the best region out of them all. Kasama nyo kami dito sa aming panel desk. My name is Bipolar together with Sneaky Frog. Man, what a day to be alive. Natapos na tayo for like almost 4 events. Ngayon, this is the last week.
Ayun nga pare, last week playoffs is finally here, and it's been multiple weeks of group stage, multiple weeks of upsets, ups and downs dito sa tournament natin, but it's finally here, man, yung final frontier ng CFS Regionals.
I mean, the storylines write themselves. Mag-aakala na some teams will improve from off the season, tapos ngayon biglang nagbawian. Even nung nasa Impactful tayo, it was actually crazy. But right now, of course, unahin muna natin ating mga viewers dahil sa inyo, mag-e-extend or meron tayong Season 2 ng ating Stove PC Client Showcase event kung saan kailangan nyo lang naman mag-log in sa ating Stove PC Client Launcher at gawin ang daily requirements. Pero Sneaky, ano nga ba makukuha dyan at paano nila makukuha yung mga points?
Of course, you are gonna get some permanent weapons pare, especially that VIP, possibly Chetak, meron ring M4, actually AK-47 Opulent Beast. They actually switched it up this time, Bipolar, with with your Barret this time. Barret, very, very good sniper. Love it, love it, love it, especially pagdating sa mga wallbang maps. But how do you get it? You just play, man. You just play and, check in dito sa ating Stove website, and of course, you can claim the points there, man. And why not? It's free, Bipolar.
Yun yung gusto natin, no? Tsaka humaba pa ata lalo, or at least aabot po ng November 4 yung buong Stove PC Client launcher event natin. So why not get right into that action? Pero syempre, tournament format muna tayo dito, Sneaky, kung saan may kita natin dito kung ano nga ba ang pinaglalabanan ng ating mga teams and how they'll be doing it. Of course, it's starting off in the group stage, 8 teams that goes into one group of 8 single round robins. Sobrang daming games, which is gonna be fun, which was fun. Tapos best of 3 series, and in the playoffs, which is happening right now, 4 teams left, single elimination, best of 5.
Ayun nga, best of 5s are gonna be so different, no? Kumpara nga sa nakita natin dito sa group stage. Bipolar, ayun nga, best of 5s, obviously you're gonna have to have a bigger map pool going into this. As we take a look at the schedule natin, of course, and we are gonna know who is gonna be clashing as of when they're gonna clash, which is gonna be 11 and 12 para dito sa ating schedule. And on that 12th, or on the 11th actually, malalaman na natin kung sino ang lilipad papuntang Chengdu dito, Bipolar.
Ako po, yan ang masaya na may kita natin dito kung sino talaga yung magre-representa ng Pilipinas. So doon hindi na tayo bias sa kanya-kanyang local teams, bias na tayo towards the Philippines. But of course, $20,000 ating prize pool natin kanina. So that is also a big setting stone papunta dito sa Chengdu. But of course, here is our players bracket now. Semi-final, Sneaky. Team Stallions versus MATTJESS. Tapos after that, ito yung medyo mainit-init. EVOS Arc versus Execration.
Ayun nga, yung first series natin, of course, with Team Stallions, getting the luck of the draw para sa kanila dito, with them being the first seed. MATTJESS, obviously, time and time again, nandito na sila sa scenario na to na yun nga, they're gonna have to go up against a very, very strong team. Papasok nga dito sa ating semifinal. So, yun nga, hopefully, we do see something from that. But that EVOS Arc at Execration, Bipolar, it's gonna be more interesting than people think kasi especially nung nakita natin dito sa group stage, Execration obviously being one of the few teams that can kind of make God's bleed dito sa tournament natin.
Yeah, very much so. There's some crazy things happening right now outside of Crossfire Philippines na medyo nagkakainita natin yung mga players din. Some players are also locked on, pero talking about these two teams, our today's matchup ngayon is gonna be these players all eyes on our first matchup kung saan Stallions versus MATTJESS is gonna be the name of the game. Kung nakikita nyo, may trending team din tayo dito na Golden versus Golden. Tapos meron tayong Blue Side versus Blue Side on the match number 2. So, ganun pa din naman yan. And feeling ko naman mga Visayan team, ito pa may isa pa Visayas team versus Visayas. Or, tapos after that, Luzon versus Luzon yung make it natin. Or basically NCR versus NCR na rin.
Yeah. Ayun nga, kind of looking like BL versus GR yung today's matchup natin, not gonna lie. Pero yun nga, actually very telling kasi yun nga, both of those teams obviously very good on their respective sides na binention ko nga. But yeah, it's gonna be a very interesting day. Hopefully we do see something interesting, especially galing dito sa mga underdog teams natin. MATTJESS especially, man. MATTJESS has a hell of a road ahead of them sa kanila pare. Obviously, you know, being the 4th seed coming in from Impact, the first Impact team na makaabot dito sa ating playoffs. So, it's gonna be very interesting. As we take a look at yung stats natin though, dito by Poli, malalaman natin who is the best performers dito sa ating group stage. And we do see the top of the leaderboard stacked with EVOS at Stallions pare, with the exception of the HNK. Kasi alam naman natin kung sino yung nandun sa taas, man.
Yeah, I mean, let's talk about KD muna. Cetra 1.62, susundod dyan si Kano, which is the trending battle din naman dito. Yobeb also traveling in that 3rd spot. Zach, pati si Loy, sumasama na rin naman. In a kill per round natin, Kano always perfect 1.00. That is insane. Kasasamahan pa dito ni Cetra, pati ni Yobeb, Zach, and Aiden actually putting up a lot of kill per round. So big shout out to Vanguard Gaming. And of course, headshot per kill, wala nang iba man. Si CBN to, 0.73. Tapos nandyan si Ared, Folex, Aldrin, NL. There's one thing to take away from the HK natin na the teams that didn't qualify for the top 4 teams, heavy hitters pa rin naman talaga sila.
Oh, for sure. I mean, Ared has always been a heavy hitter, no, para sa kanyang team, and especially when it comes to the empty frags, ayun nga, he is definitely a guy na is very, very hard to stop if he can't really stop the rest of the team. Pero may kita naman natin ang ating highest KT standings, and of course, it is going to be Zetra, Kano, and Yobeb. I mean, to be fair, right, if we were to have a player ranking, it would be floating around these 3 kung sino yung best player ngayon dito sa Pilipinas. And, you know, every single player has a just argument, pare.
Yeah, very much sure. Tsaka kung isipin mo, young guns palagi nagdodomina ng Crossfire Philippines right now. So you can see them that the Crossfire Philippines is providing the task that can go to the international level. Nandiyan naman talaga si Cetra, Kano, and Yobeb. But I wanna look at the 4 to 10 spot natin. Naghahalo-halo pero mostly man, nandito lahat ng Stallions. Loy, KLB, pati si JJ, Aiden as well also coming in from Pacific, Zach as well, which is actually interesting. Zach being in that 4th spot means that, you know, they might have some fight later on against these top players, especially kapag naramdaman ni Zach na he is in his prime time gaming mamaya sa labanan nila.
Yes, for sure. I really do hope na, especially pagdating dito sa playoffs, para kay Zach especially, that he would actually be performing at that exact same level na nakita nga natin ng group stage. No, I feel like it's been a pattern para sa matches na they do get into group stage as soon as we, you know, nakatungtong tayo sa LAN or maybe in this online playoffs. Ayun nga, they kind of start to taper off a bit. Pero, ayun nga, hopefully it's a bit different para dito kay Zach. I feel like he's the most consistent performer para dito sa matches, whether or not they have good games or bad games. So, ayun nga, he's one of the biggest reasons why MATTJESS is even here in the first place, pare.
Yeah, I mean, big shoutouts to Zach. No, later on we'll see him in his, you know, biggest form yet to be seen dito sa that is to be seen dito sa ating regional finals. Pero of course, unahin na natin dito our number 1 spot in terms of standings, still undefeated by the way, just won against Execration, pero 2-1 pa rin naman yung nangyari doon. It's Team Stallions, ang ating boys in golden, ang ating rampaging stampede. Kitang-kita mo naman, tinuturo na tayo dito ni Kano, JJ, Dolph X, Loy, and KLB man. Ang daming star players dito sa team natin.
Oh, for sure. I mean, you can even include si Dolph, in all honesty, no? Pagdating dito sa Stallions, kasi honestly, every single player na kinuha nila in the off-season acquisition like 2023, 2022 was definitely the right decision, no? I mean, even back then sa Ubek Maniac, this team is one of the most solid pagdating sa macro. I feel like ayun nga, no, their consistency cannot be understated. There really is just times, especially when it comes to playoffs, when it comes to grand finals, that some of them do taper off a bit. Pero feeling ko kasi sa lahat ng experience ng Team Stallions na nakuha nila from EWC, from ACL, ayun nga, no, this might be the time
Yeah, it really might be the time. You know, looking at the stats as well, no, Sneaky, na wala kang makitang butas pagdating dito sa team na to because they're one of the teams actually providing us with a positive KD, a great smoke per round. Not a lot of players can keep on giving us a 0.3 SR na kung nakikita nyo palagi may 0.2. I mean, everything in this stat line makes sense. Skill per round as well, headshots. Actually, 3 of them almost hitting that 0.5 mark, which means that, you know, papasok ka pa lang, you have to be ready, you have to be equipped kapag Team Stallions yun nakikita mo. Right now, let's look at the team data, kung ano nga ba ang journey, just a little bit of a throwback, kung ano nga ba ang dinatnan dito ng Team Stallions. Simulan ng EVOS Arc, a great matchup, pero 2-0, Vanguard Pacific Esports matches, NV Gaming, Gaon Gaming, tapos umabot tayo sa Execration, 2-1, but man, parang ano yung prediction natin na possibly one of the teams na maging 2-0 every time, it's Team Stallions providing us with great performance.
Oh, for sure. I can really feel it nga, no? Not gonna lie, Polo, I can feel you smirking because of that one map win dahil nga dito sa Execration. But then at the same time, it's still wild to me na this team is actually together, no? I mean, getting the context as well sa lahat ng statistics, sa lahat ng panalo. The fact na Kano is the second highest KR sa buong game as an entry fragger, pare.
Yeah.
As an entry fragger, the guy who goes in first para sa kanyang team. So it's astounding what this kid can do. At the same time, yung support staff surrounding him is definitely insane. I mean, overall, Stallions did a good job on just building yung team from the ground up, pare, and you know, reaping the rewards now.
You know what? We're talking about these players. Why not let's talk about the man behind the scenes? It's Coach Tanks coming in from Team Stallions ang ating ma-interview natin today. And golden na golden ka pa din. Coach Tanks, kamusta tayo dyan?
Okay lang. Ready.
Ready. The game face is on, Sneaky. Parang locked in na locked in dito. Any questions?
Ayun nga, Coach Tanks, obviously, MATTJESS has been a, you know, matchup para sa'yo for the past few years, even when you were still in Pacific. What do you think is yung biggest difference ng MATTJESS from then to now? What's the difference of preparation, no, sa nakikita natin ngayon?
Preparation nila or namin?
O sa inyo?
Sa amin? We always treat everyone patas lang. So we really prepare for everyone. So even their VODs, we study, I study. And pinagandaan din namin talaga sila kasi medyo unpredictable sila gumalaw. So, yun. Unorthodox sila eh.
You know what, Coach Shanks, one more question before we throw you para makapag-ready kayo lalo, no? Against in-expect nyo ba na MATTJESS yung mga kalaban nyo today? Because some teams actually nagre-ready sila towards you know, the 1v1 just like what happens in Master. Tapos ngayon baka nagulat kayo na MATTJESS pala mga kalaban nyo. It's Bisaya versus mga Bisaya versus Bisaya. Ready ba kayo na matanggal yung parang kapatid nyo in this kind of scenario?
Parang sinabi ko na rin kagabi, we're ready to face anyone.
Anyone talaga, no?
Wala naman kami like, hindi kami pwede mag-nitpick na sana yung nasa force, ganyan. Kasi everyone deserves to be here. And yung pinakamalakas lang talaga matitira. Ganun.
Yun. Feeling ko foreshadowing na ata yung Coach Tanks, no? Pero for now, Coach Tanks, it's time for you to give us a shoutout para sa mga nagpapasalamat, ay mga pasasalamatan nyo sa dami rang nanonood ngayon, Coach Tanks. So, the floor is yours.
Ayun, maraming salamat sa fans ng UM/Stallions, sa lahat na nakasuporta talaga sa amin mula day one. Ito na uli kami sabak, and we're praying na makuha namin tong championship na to. Alam namin it's not gonna be easy, pero gagawin namin lahat, and we've been really preparing for this. Shout out kay Boss Chris, kay Ma'am Lizelle, sa buong team ng Stallions, sa nanay ko, sa asawa ko, and yan sa inyo sa prod. Salamat sa magandang shows lagi.
Coach Tanks, I mean, it's bound to happen at the end of the day, so baka ito na yung season for you. Coach Tanks, good luck. Bigyan nyo kami ng magandang laban against MATTJESS.
Salamat.
There we go. More somber tone today, no? Para dito kay
very serious
para kay Tanks. I mean, I would describe the dude as the humble confidence coming in from him, pare, na granted, he still does respect yung mga teams dito sa tournament natin, but at the same time, ayun nga, no, hindi sila pwede matalo. So, I like it. I like the vibe na pinapresent ngayon ng Stallions. You know, they're locked in para makapasok ng playoffs to get that ticket to Chengdu, and yun nga, no, hopefully get that trophy.
Yeah, very much so. Hopefully, it's been a while. It's been very long na rin kasi kung isipin mo na, these kids have gotten a Filipino championship. So hopefully this time, this is the starting point na. It's playoffs time. Nakita mo naman, talagang seryoso siya, man. And I feel like nagtatranslate din yun sa mga players natin na hindi pa natin nakikita. Kahit ako, Sneaky, kinabahan ako, nag-fumble ako ng maraming beses doon na nakausap ko si Coach Lance kasi nakita ko siya sa preview show. He was so jolly, kasama niya pa si Aris, pero ngayon, it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be a great time. Ngayon, why not let's talk about their opponents, the enemies on the other side. It's MATTJESS, the people who were basically, hindi natin expect na abot sila dito. But of course, with Zach, Yaba, Rails, Ninkyu, Jason, and LQQQ, they are a force to be reckoned with, Sneaky.
Yeah, of course, especially with MATTJESS making history dito sa Filipino Crossfire, being the first impact team to make it all the way dito sa ating regional playoffs. And it's definitely astounding para dito sa MATTJESS considering yung expectations natin para sa team na to weren't really too high going into regionals. But something switched midway, Bipolar. Something switched midway through this season, and all of a sudden, Zach, star player, Ninkyu, star entry, everything makes sense para dito sa MATTJESS. Something switched and it worked out para sa kanila dito, and they made it. They made the run work, pare. 4-3.
Yeah, very much so. They were able to clinch it. There was a time na parang sinasabi natin baka makuha pa yung pwesto dito ng MATTJESS, but they were able to just keep on holding, and now we can see them in their top 4 spot. I also want to put some highlight on Rels. He has been a killer in the backline na hindi mo ina-expect that can find these angles, can find these skills out of nowhere. So this team, despite them being called the underdogs, MATTJESS, man, are Spartans that that can provide us with some multiple frags na a tie game even up against Stallions. Right now, let's look at their team data kung ano nga ba ang sitwasyon nila towards their journey or ano nga bang pinagdaanan nila. Sinabi nga ni Sneaky that it was a 4-3. May kita nyo ngayon, it was a rough start, Sneaky. Unang 3 matches, talo agad.
Yeah, I feel like yung loss up against Gaon really just removed a bit of confidence galing sa lahat sa atin dito sa broadcast, because obviously Gaon, perennial gatekeepers dito sa ating regionals, and I feel like if you can't beat this team, hindi ka makakaabot ng playoffs. But then, after that 2-0 win up against itong Execration, their momentum just looked up every single time. Granted na yung Pacific NV Vanguard game isn't as clean as as it should be. Pero at the same time, it's still, MATTJESS dito sa playoffs. They still won at the end of the day. And that's off of the backs of, some really, really good players.
Yeah, very much so. It's just crazy that we are in the presence almost of some players here coming in from MATTJESS. From a team that no one really expected of doing very well. Binawi na rin, pinakita nila after those 3 matches na, Top Guns lang naman yan eh. Baka ngayon ipapakita nila sa atin na we're finally ready and we're finally equipped for something greater. You know what, Sneaky? We were talking about the maps as well. Up against a team na almost same lang naman yung map pool nila. What do you think is gonna be the scenario there later on?
It's gonna be very tough para sa MATTJESS, considering they're also prioritizing itong sub-base for their team. So that's gonna be very rough considering you're literally going up against the best sub-base team in the world, pare.
Yeah.
And I feel like the priorities are gonna shift differently para sa kanila dito. I wouldn't be surprised if MATTJESS actually bans itong sub-base and just plays it out maybe sa Eagle Eye or maybe dito sa Ankara. But at the same time, mapa din yun ng Stallions. So you're kind of in a pickle right now kung kaya yung MATTJESS. So I really feel like naka-Rels talaga yung responsibility na gumawa ng play or gumawa ng style that can kind of confuse itong Team Stallions, pare, kasi ayun nga, I feel like you cannot beat Stallions conventionally, pare. Let's just say.
I mean, it's gonna be a crazy standpoint. We were expecting, Sneaky, na I saw the previous show and feeling ko I set the same sentiment na possibly we might just go up to map number 4. May possibility naman na umabot tayo ng set number 5, but up against the team na marami nagbabank on na international level already, do you think na if MATTJESS wins this na 3-2, let's say, if MATTJESS ang manalo ng 3-2, are they equipped up against people pagdating sa international level? Kasi that just means na sila na agad mismo ang pwede nating mapadala on the other regions.
I feel like their first tournament's gonna be really good, if ever. Kasi ayun nga, I feel like yung international teams really don't know how to counter a team like MATTJESS na will just punch you in the face and run away, pare. So, ayun nga, I feel like they might do good sa international at the same time. Ayun nga, no, it's a different level, no? Pagdating sa international competition, man, the same plays are not gonna work sa nakikita natin dito sa Pilipinas. So, ayun nga, I feel like they could go very far, but not as far as some people would think. But they could provide a decent surprise kasi yun nga, this team, unpredictable, but very, very good, pare.
Yeah, very, very good. And plus, yung mga stats nila, nakikita nila natin most of the time, sila yung, they're one of the teams that can only that can execute a 5-man push every time without any lyrics. Nakikita natin yun, sometimes coming from matches. It paved the way para makapasok sila dito sa ating top 4 ng regional finals. Let's see kung magawa nga nila yon in this matchup and even potential in the international stage. And why not, let's keep the question rolling, no, Sneaky? Do you think equipped na ang Stallions for that possibility ng Chengdu? Kung matches, we have some good predictions, no, na pag sila ngayon nanalo dito 3-2, they have may angas pa rin naman sila. How about Stallions? Nakita natin sila na in AWC they were able to get a little bit of breathing space, nakaangat sila ng konti. So nga, they weren't able to get the top 3. Do you think there's a possibility of a podium finish?
I think so. Man, in all honesty, feeling ko nga sila yung pinaka-prepared na team going into playoffs other than EVOS dito, pare, with all the resources that they have. And obviously, yung other teams from other regions also taking interest dito sa Stallions when it comes to the scrimmages, pare. So I feel like, ayun nga, just, international level in general, pare, feeling ko MATTJESS definitely, or MATTJESS Stallions definitely could do a deep run, pare. But there's a lot of pitfalls para sa kanila going into internationals. There's a lot of teams that is already watching yung kanilang gameplay. So I really want to warn itong Stallions na ayun nga, the same play that happened nung ACL at EWC might not work dito sa 2025 kasi I'm starting to see yung mga Chinese teams starting to speed up as well. And ayun nga, the Chinese mechanics plus Filipino aggression, pare, that's a scary sight to see, pare.
Yeah, very parang horror movie kung iisipin mo. I really like what you said there na basically sila palagi pinapanood. They're one of the teams na pwede na sabihin na mostly watched by international or international teams, yung mga regions natin. They look their eyes upon Stallions, especially with how they performed in WC. So, alam mo yun, kung Coach Tangs, if you really are gunning for that number 1 spot natin dito, you have to put up some Pero ngayon, of course, it's gonna be matches, the ones that we're gonna be talking about. Of course, nandito rin naman si Zach, one of our top performers for the entire regional finals. Brother, kamusta tayo dyan?
Okay lang, boss. Okay lang kami.
Sneaky, any questions?
Ayun nga, boss, obviously, ayun nga, Team Stallions yung kalaban nyo, mga tropa. Pwede nga natin sabihin na meron ba tayong ginawang preparation or meron ba kayong alam na tungkol sa Stallions na hindi alam ng, kunyari, ng mga teams sa taga Manila, na meron ba kayong way na mabit itong team na to, boss Zach?
Meron po, meron. Saktong preparation lang.
Okay. You know what, Zach? Feeling ko mas uplifted yung spirits nyo compared to paano namin in-interview si Coach Tangs. Gusto ko lang tanungin sa'yo, may tatargetin ka ba para masabi na ikaw ang pinakamalakas sa area nyo right now against Stallions?
Wala naman. Wala.
Si Kano, sabi mo si Kano. Kahit sino. Okay.
Kahit sino, si Pegaro. Pero yun nga. Zach, obviously, ayun nga, it's been quite the run para nga dito sa MATTJESS. Ayun nga, feeling nyo ba na nung natalo nyo yung Execration, nung medyo umikot na rin yung landas nyo nung group stage na, feeling nyo na kaya nyo kumuha dito sa playoffs?
Oo, kaya.
Yun pala. Thank you, Execration.
I mean, Zach, you know what? Feeling ko you guys are equipped. Alam naman namin na with your strategies, with your playstyle, kaya nyong makuha ng multiple rounds and possibly even multiple maps against Stallions. Any final words? Pasasalamatan ka ba? Kahit Bisaya, Zach, it's okay. It's your time to shine, brother.
Shout out kay Boss Matti. Mga kaibigan ko nanood. And good luck sa Team STS.
Yun. Okay, Zach. I mean, brother, it's time for you to get ready. Malapit ang labanan nyo. Good luck. Bigyan nyo kami ng magandang laban, Zach. And hopefully, magkita-kita tayo sa Chengdu, no?
Sana.
Yun.
Yeah.
I mean, thank you, Zach. Again, maraming salamat. Onting confidence booster lang kasi parang nararamdaman ko nanginginig pa si ngayon si Zach. But right now, let's move on. It's time for the head-to-head sneaky. Our key players to look out for later on sa matchup na ito.
Matik.
It's Kano versus Zach.
Of course, man. I mean, to be fair, no, Zach, obviously one of the best group stage performances we've ever seen dito sa ating regionals, dragging his team all the way into playoffs. But at the same time, pare, you are going up against the best attacker this country has ever possibly seen. I mean, 1KR first on the statistics, pare, 1.49 KD. Granted, Zach is more of a closer para sa kanyang team, no? Kano's statistics is not human, pare. Pwede natin sabihin.
Totoo man. I mean, looking at it, palagi siyang first in kill per round, second in KD, pero si Zach man, 1.26, 8.5. Not that far naman. Siguro sa HK lang naman nagkakalayo yung players na ito. So let's see kung ano nga ba ang gagawin nila later on. But right now, it's time to look at our map comparison. Or tama nga ba? Yeah, map comparison na makikita natin dito. And ito yung inaral natin, Sneaky. There's not a lot of things to talk about dito sa ating Stallions except for this Black Widow. Pero looking at it sa base, pantay na pantay almost, brother.
Yeah, very, very pantay. Actually, I think what I'm thinking here is magbaban yata yung MATTJESS. Most likely, maybe New Mexico, pero feeling ko willing din sila ilaro yung mapa na yun. But if I was MATTJESS here, I would really just ban yung mga strong maps dito ng Stallions. Try and see if they can, kind of remove that early, especially itong new compound, pare. I feel like may niluluto itong Stallion sa new compound, and if MATTJESS, baka ayaw nila mag-compound, they really don't want to deal with the hard corners, pare, maybe that could be out. Pero ayun nga, no, it's a big dilemma para dito sa kanila bipolar, kasi nakita mo naman sa statistics, they play almost the exact same maps, pare.
Yeah, yun na nga talaga from the same kind of neighborhood kasi nangyari dito for Team Stallions and MATTJESS. Feeling ko din Ankara possibly Black Widow matanggal sa mapa natin dito. But why not? Let's see. Ngayon may kita naman natin ang ating keys to victory, Sneaky. For Stallions, wala daw makakapigil, STS on top.
Yeah, wala makakapigil sa Stallions. I mean, to be fair, that is true. Dito sa ating group stage, pare, nga Low and Kano being, one of the best front lines dito sa ating tournament. And I really feel like the most underrated thing para dito sa Stallions is really the uptick ng fragging dito ni KLB, especially ever since the HK417 came in, pare. He's really a different person entirely.
Yeah, iba talaga. I mean, looking at these players, palagi kang may kitang like highlight or at least like a key power na ginagawa dito for the individual players coming from Stallions. Pero right now, looking at MATTJESS from underdogs to dominators, these players, it's really shining through. May kita natin na MATTJESS is the one to provide us with, yung plot twist na hindi natin inaasahan.
Yeah, as much as we do love to talk about itong si Zach Alcidente, pare, I really feel like the most underrated decision na ginawa ng MATTJESS going into this offseason is shifting itong si Rels towards yung IGL role. I really feel like Rels, despite him, at one point being top 3 sniper, dito sa liga natin, I really feel like, him on the IGL role, his veterancy is definitely helping itong MATTJESS, pare.
You know what, Sneaky? I think it's time to also bring in more people dito sa ating team natin with the cameras. It's time to introduce our casters for these semifinals. It's time to introduce Ramon and as well as si Dadom, si Papa Dudot. Welcome to the panel desk. Kamusta naman tayo dyan? Malapit na tayo makbito. Pero any thoughts muna, Ramon and Dadom? Mabilisan lang.
Well, para naman simulain, Excited ako talaga. Gonna be my first playoffs cast for me para CFS, para CFS so far. And alam mo, sobrang excited ako kasi the storyline behind this is really the strongest of one team comes out on top. And malay mo naman, magulat tayo bigla, Pero I think in our minds, with the whole world watching, all the pressure is on both teams.
Dadom, any first thoughts pagdating sa labanan natin later?
Ako po, ang dami ko nang naisip dito, bipolar, no? Of course, this is Stallions that sets the standards and MATTJESS that is the up-and-comers. And alam mo naman ako, I absolutely love MATTJESS. I hope they prove something to Stallions. But man, this is I can't wait.
Everybody can't wait dito. Feeling ko we all share the same kind of feeling right now. I think we are able to go into the map. Vito, tama nga ba? In just a little while. Yes, we can.
Only
Kasi
two
dito na
bands.
makita ang first two bands. It's gonna be first New Mexico band. Black Widow.
I knew it.
Asuelo,
I knew it. I
Stallion,
knew it. I knew it. I knew it,
Ankara,
bro.
Subbase. Sino susunod? Eagle Eye 2.0 pinili ng matches and port
Wait.
for that fourth one and new compound pa ang mahuhuli. Sneaky, I wanna hear your thoughts, man.
Guys, pa-timestamp na lang yung sinabi ko na ibaba nila yung Black Widow. Pero yun nga, yung Ankara definitely, expected para dito sa MATTJESS. They want to start off strong dito sa series natin. Obviously, when MATTJESS starts off strong, they really do carry momentum well going into this series. Subbase gonna be a bit iffy para sa kanila dito. Pero, ayun nga, if their PL side could be workable kung ano nila yung PL dito ng Stallions. If they could defend that would be fine. Rest of the maps actually look pretty much Stallions, pero hindi ko masasabi na walang chance dito yung MATTJESS eh.
It's a bit of a toss-up bipolar, I can actually see a world wherein MATTJESS could be comparable from the get-go, since considering Ankara is one of the maps na masabi nating most pick nga para sa kanila so far. I mean, in a lot of the Ankara games that they've had, they've been up and down, pero it's Stallions din kasi yung pinag-uusapan din natin eh. They've kind of carried the mantle now from Pacific as being the team that has a very flexible map pool, but that's also to say na habang naglalaro din sila ng Eagle Eye and Subbase for the majority of the games that they played so far sa regional finals, is too early to tell. So feeling ko this map Quito itself will be a huge challenge para sa ating players on MATTJESS, but that is to say na Stallions talaga is still on top dito.
Alam mo, this scares me. This scares me as MATTJESS. I would have put a prediction differently, but because Black Widow is banned out dito ng Stallions, I think this is gonna go one way and only one way. Bipolar. Black Widow kasi the only map that in my opinion has still that kind of weakness from Stallions, but they ban it out and they pick Subbase. Parang sinasabi nila dito, we take away Black Widow and we're gonna take you head on. Subbase, remember, is also the most powerful map dito ng MATTJESS, and Stallions not having any hesitation to pick that up against them is scary.
I mean, right now, it's a crazy map pool. Feeling ko pa lang from the first two maps, we know na it's gonna be a bloodbath for both teams. Pero simulan na natin ang predictions. Ang mga sinasabi natin dito is gonna be set in stone. So you guys better be careful. Sa akin dito, I'm gonna go 3-2 in favor of Stallions.
3-2 is crazy. I would go 3-1. I would go 3-1 Stallions dito. I really feel like MATTJESS can maybe slip by a map dito, pare. Not gonna lie, pero yun nga, Stallions are too good.
Yeah. I think it's a little too safe nga naman na masabi nga na may palag pa rin naman yung MATTJESS dito considering the form that they're in right now. I have to give it 3-1 din para sa Stallions ngayon. It's gonna be undisputed they're gonna win this series, and MATTJESS just have to show their preparations ngayon.
I would agree with Sneaky, this is rough for MATTJESS, because of the fact that Black Widow is out. I think nawala ng alas dito ang MATTJESS and yes, I think they have a chance of taking Ankara, but the next three maps, it's Subbase, Eagle Eye, and Port. I think there's no chance that they can win against Stallions, so I think this is gonna be Stallions 3-1.
I mean, okay, thank you very much for your predictions. I'd like to agree with myself muna dito, everybody. Kasi 3-2 natin, I mean, it was very much, I feel ko din naman na with these two maps, yung first natin, Black Widow, Ankara and Subbase might be something that we will go for a very, very long time. So hopefully, mabawi, MATTJESS will prove us wrong here, but let's see. Team Stallions comfortably winning 3 rounds here is not gonna be, not gonna be impossible. Sila pa nga pwede makakuha ng 100% dito, possibly even a 3-0. But let's see kung ano nga bang mangyayari for these two teams. It's time to throw it to our casters. Kamusta naman dyan, Ramon and Daedom? Let's get right into the action.
That's right, Bipolar! At ayun, ngayon nga to, isang karangalan ang naihatid ng Crossfire para sa araw ng Sabado. Ang pinakahihintay na labanan ng pinakamalakas na bisdak para sa pagkakataong makarating sa Chengdu at ang pinakaunang pagkakataong matawag na kampiyon ang parehong teams na meron tayo dito ngayon. MATTJESS versus Team Stallions, Daedom and Ramon, and with the whole world watching, mukhang bagsakan na sa server ngayon, Matt.
bagsakan na talaga, no, particularly in the sets that we're gonna have yun sa mga mapang ito. No? It's gonna be absolutely exciting, particularly for our first match. I think, Ramon, dito sa angkara natin is where MATTJESS can set the tempo of how the story is gonna be like for this best of 5. No? Kapag naipanalo nila to, I think that's the only way they have a chance of even having standing against Team Stallions dito. Kasi sa base, it's gonna be an absolute battlefield for them. And I could definitely see the philosophy ni Coach Tanks dito. No? Sabi niya kanina, he will treat everyone the same way. And the way this map dito is, I couldn't imagine it going any differently. Kunyari kung EP man yung kalaban dito ng Stallions or EVOS Arcila, feeling ko kahit sinong katapat nila, they will pick the same maps. They will ban Black Widow, pick up sub-base, and go on from there on out. Nagkataon nga lang talaga na dito sa MATTJESS, they have a very similar set pool, map pool that is. Kaya, madugo ang laban natin dito. I'm so excited.
Sobrang madugo nga naman no? Parang may sa mga utak nating lahat, parang set na tayo talaga na mananalo nga dito ang STS dito. Considering the experience that they've had and the amount of times na nirepresent nga tayo sa ibang bansa para lang malaman ng iba't ibang bansa ngayon na tayo nga talaga ay isang team or isang region na kailangan tutukan ng bawat bansa ngayon. No? Pero, bigyan natin na spotlight ang MATTJESS sa kanilang journey all throughout this. For the first 3 weeks mismo ng regional finals, in the back of our heads, wala talaga nag-isip na makakaabot sila dito.
Sa ako meron.
Team.
Ako nag-isip ako.
Ikaw lang naman Ikaw lang naman yung meron. Pero sa ating iba, sa ibang mga players dito or mga tao dito sa broadcast talent lineup, walang chance sana ang MATTJESS papunta dito. Pero nakarating sila sa playoffs and there is a big reason for it. They are worthy to be called a playoffs contender. Pero up against the biggest challenge yet, it is gonna be against Team Stallions. So will MATTJESS prove that they are worthy of a challenge? We'll find out in the Ankara map, the map pick of MATTJESS. Starting on the GR side, we have Kano holding up that LA position, KLB Loy to provide support.
Ito, para sa akin, pinaka-importanting set ito para sa MATTJESS. They should strive to take this set with everything they've got. Stallions on the BL, sila munang aatake. And MATTJESS on the GR side, the team that Coach Tanks himself said is erratic, unpredictable. Pinaghandaan talaga nila to. Ito, one of the things that a lot of people might not know, magkakilala tong mga player na to. Magkakakapit bahay sila halos. We can almost consider them. And MATTJESS, they might have something up their sleeves na nakakagulat dito para sa Team Stallions. Kaya dahan-dahan lang approach ng Stallions dito. Couple of players, KLP, nakabang sa mid.
Absolutely passive approach for MATTJESS. No proactive pushes, not even a sniper peek. Doon pa lang sa may EA, nobody's having give themselves any sort of advantage para sa kanilang naging GR. So that gives STS, yung layer nila doon sa may CA, pwede na nakunan yung mid-side setup as well. Giving MATTJESS sort of a starved amount of info. Walang taong nakapush, walang taong nakapagbigay ng position sa kanilang side. STS gonna take hotel as quickly as possible. JJ nasa akyatan, spotted pa si Ninkyu. Yun ang first blood para sa playoffs ng regional finals. Nakapasok na agad ang STS papunta sa may hotel. Getting ready na itong si Zach. Will the Miracle Kid hit his shot?
Zach. Oh, the quick scope not connecting onto JJ. Nakapasok na! But there's gonna be the quick scope. It's for the second time. Pero si Kano at si KLB na-control na dito ang B-side. C4 getting planted. Yaba coming in from behind. And the 1v2 with 1 HP. He's already taken 2 kills. Pero si YBA mag-isa na lang dito. Magsiset up pa nga pa ng lineup, or will he just buy the time? I think he will attempt it. YBA, one of the rising stars of MATTJESS, has brimming potential. Uy, KLP nabatuhan siya doon ng granada, and YBA going down. Stallions with a quick take of B site. Round 1 win.
Yun yung mahirap kapag you're playing on the passive position. MATTJESS giving all the space to Stallions. Nakakuha na agad ng space ng si JJ, putting up in towards that akyatan position with similar position para ma-leverage nila yung position ng MATTJESS so far. The push in towards hotel and all falling into place. Zach also punished as well dun sa first round natin. He will also get yung first blood niya papunta kay Loy. Kano, pushing through the smoke. Smoke criminal ang tawag sa kanya. He does get himself the first tap dito. JJ with another one. STS bring control back papunta dun sa may LA. Hinayaan na lang si Jason. Mag-control na lang dun sa may CA Rel. Spotted pero si JJ ang mapapatay gamit ng Arctic ng sniper. It's gonna be 3v2. Stallions Falling down to the KL brothers. How will they recover the objective so far with the aggressive stance that MATTJESS have put forward?
Ito na nga, no? When it comes to the duels, MATTJESS kaya na lang makisabay sa Stallions. In fact, they win sa most of those duels in this round. 2 versus 3 tayo dito. KLB and KLP. Unti-unti silang lumalapit dito sa vents towards A site. It's the duo KL brothers. Sniper ang hawak pa rin dito ni KLP. Si KLB, remember, with the revamp of weaponry dito, has been popping off in recent matches with that HK. Kaya hindi mo pwedeng i-discount itong 3v2 na ito for Team Stallions. They will get the bomb planted for now. And a good idea would be for KLB to position in exit at humanap ng kill. But look at how they're playing this. Magkahiwalay dito si KLB at si KLP.
Yeah. So knowing their objectives this time is to get the pick, tapos balik na lang sa mga passive roles. For now, MATTJESS, they put forward an even bigger disadvantage. KLP down on 1v3. KLB spotted at nahanap pa ni Ninkyu. One of the rising stars from MATTJESS has secured himself the first round for MATTJESS. 1-1 tayo sa laruan natin. It's all thanks to a quick change of pace para sa MATTJESS, getting the aggressive pushes doon sa may mid-side.
And yun yung sinasabi ko kanina, no, magkahiwalay yung posisyon ni KLB and ni KLP, which is why when one of them fell down, wala silang nakuha. Kahit isang kill. MATTJESS with a successful retake, and this time Ninkyu pushing up dito sa may akyatan and bridge. Loy! Takes him down na bato ng granada. At papasok na ng hotel dito ang Stallions, full force towards hotel. At yung boba hawak-hawak nila doon, the sniper shot does not connect, pero si Rels tinamaan ng ligaw na bala. Zach holding down TB. At babalik ang Team Stallions. This unpredictable defense is a signature move from Team Stallions.
Yeah, and it's also a good sign of their preparation coming up into this. They know that their team is somebody that they can never underestimate. MATTJESS fully covered and get themselves one. Ito dito kay Loy. 1-for-1 tayo dito ngayon. Pasok na agad dun sa may LA. Alam na agad nila. Napapasok pa rin ng STS papunta dun sa side na yun. But JJ, flap kill kay Rels. Yaba gets another opening shot. Papunta sa bungo ni JJ, 3v3. Jason, right place, right time.
Jason.
Spots at KLB. Hindi nakalabas ng bench ang buhay. KLB also.
Jason!
Look at Jason! The spray transfer all the way from the right side. Will get the 3K. And that will put MATTJESS up to 2.
Jason with 3 and MATTJESS pick up the lead laban sa Stallions. Chris, they know how important ang Kara is in this matchup. Jason knows. And look at the scoreboard dito. Every single player of MATTJESS has positive KD. Well, Ninkyu has been providing that entry, kaya medyo lugi siya sa kills, pero okay lang, still providing that impact. And MATTJESS, they are making things hard para sa Team Stallions. Ramdam na ramdam ko, Chris, ang paghahanda na ginawa dito ng MATTJESS. They are sharp and they are unrelenting. Kailangan bumagal dito ng Stallions. They have to think of every single round.
Absolutely. Kung manunod ka sana yung preparation ng STS, considering that kahit sinong team, kahit EVOS man yan, kahit NV, talagang doble ang preparation para sa team na to. Pero, you can never discount MATTJESS. They know their opponent. They know what type of behemoth they're facing up in the server. So with this, they're gonna rotate back in towards LA yet again. A 5-man push. Wala nang tricks of their sleeve. Wala nang kahit ano pa. A 5-man execute para sa STS ngayon. Si Jason, si Yaba lang. Dalawang anchors para sa site ng MATTJESS. DJ gonna get ready with the flash and the smoke, and down Jason flashed away, so Yaba is isolated, killed up by JJ. Second frag comes through, KLB gets it. 3v5 tayo at mukhang si Kano lumalabas, nagiging guwardya para hindi makapasok si Rels from exit. 5v2, Ninkyu spotted by Kano as well, and Zach, the only man left alive. Might not be for long with the plant coming down as well. And with a flash in his hand, mukhang tatakbo na lang siya pabalik sa kanyang spawn. And using all the time in the world para lang pag-usapan kung ano yung nangyari dito, it will be STS getting their second round.
Yes, ganda ng recovery nila doon. No immediate adjustment at lipat ng LA. Full commitment as well. And I have to say, the HE usage of Team Stallions have been perfect so far. Ang dami na lang nakuhang kill by going away from contact. Sheer grenade utility. Ang talino din ng approach dito ng Team Stallions. So alam nila na when it comes to the duels, nakakapalag ang MATTJESS. So let us fight them without giving them any contact. giving them the round. 2-2 ang labanan natin dito by Chris, and it will be Stallions making up another strategy. Uti-uti silang lumalapit sa akyatan dito. Nades pushing up again. Muntik na silang makahuli doon with Kana. Ooh, good counter nade mula sa MATTJESS dito. As we take a look at the upper right hand screen, ito na nga Stallions making a bit of presence sa hotel ulit. At nilipat na ng bypass. Actually, Zach, might that be the worst idea to push LA?
Oh. And if you could get the timing, baka mahanap niya ang kahit sino dito kay KLB. Even the bomb as well. JJ holding that down. Knows the possibility. But Team Stallions are prepared for this. Zach gonna peek in and does get himself ng si JJ. That will drop yung C4. That will put STS at a disadvantage. Zach, we know him to be the type of player that can come up with miracles just like this. And he gets his first opening shot.
Yes, ang sniper ngayon si Zach along with Rels. Double sniper setup mula sa MATTJESS. Yaba! Ooh, good challenge onto KLB. The IGL going down. Stallions, naku po, nahihirapan sila dito. Ninkyu pushing up the control of space. MATTJESS maximizing. At mag-isa na lang si Loy dito with the HK. Lalapitan si Rels. Uti-uting advance at si Rels. Okay, take down onto with a headshot. Loy stays alive for now. With 1 minute left on the clock, parang ang hirap na nito. Jason moving closer sa RS nila. At si Ninkyu lumalapit na rin sa kanya, no? So Loy about to get overwhelmed. I don't think there's any way Loy can get to the bomb in time and go to plant. Especially with his position, medyo nalalayo siya. And this is prime time for Stallions to create a new strategy na naman kasi napigilan ulit sila ng MATTJESS.
Yeah, and it's also thanks to somewhat of a combination of STS kind of challenging the passive positions. They are noting that for the past few rounds, MATTJESS has been getting the space. Medyo hindi nila alam kung saan mga galing yung first blood for them. So with the hesitation seeping forward, they're giving MATTJESS the time to breathe, actually get themselves the pushes. With Zach getting himself a lot of the kills so far, it's putting up a lot of stress sa kung saan mga gagaling ang MATTJESS with their aggression on the GR side. 3-2 tayo. Ninkyu low on HP thanks to the spam all the way from wooden door so far. And yet again, you can see that MATTJESS respecting their opponents right now after a pacey couple of rounds ago. How will STS approach this now? For the past couple, medyo alam nila na may possibility na pwedeng sumabog sa labas ng sites ang MATTJESS.
Totoo. Unpredictability, one of the strengths na meron dito ang MATTJESS. Vents play coming through from Kano and Loy, two of the best riflers in the league. Pero si Yaba nasa taas. Naku po, this is a very powerful position. Laging gumagana itong position na ito ni YBA. Papasok, tatlo sa STS, papuntang A site. Nakakuha ng isa. Kano is down. YBA looking for more. Nasa itaas. Flashes coming through. At dumating na nga yung isang kasapi niya doon. YBA still holding. Hindi pa makapasok ang STS. Pero na, KLP takes down YBA. Jason to take down Loy. Rels is here pero wala pang smoke. KLB taking the fight to MATTJESS. KLP takes down Jason. At papasok na dito ng A site ang Stallions.
Walang magagawa si Rels at si Zach. Wala pa kasi si Ninkyu. They're all waiting for the perfect time to strike them on both sides. While STS are trying to get the space, KLP is holding the cross down and he's able to get the headshot on the way to Ninkyu.
KLB.
Another one onto Rels as well as the plant comes down. Zach in the 1v3. We've seen miracles happen from this kid alone. Will this be a 1v3 clutch para kay Zach? No util. And nothing but an Arctic, a pistol in hand. First contact will be KLB, kills the sniper. This will be a 1v2 now, but KLB rises to the occasion, gets the round para sa Team Stallions, and with that, execute, puts them up in the tie, 3-3.
Love to see it. STS, medyo nag-iiba-iba na sila ng role dito. No? KLB yung nag-entry doon with Kano going down. Siya yung sumalo sa responsibilidad ng pag-entry, and KLB successful with it, along with phenomenal sniping. KLP, napakaganda na struktura talaga ng BL side dito ng Stallions. MATTJESS unable to cope in that round. 3-3 ang score natin dito. Ninkyu mula sa EB, peeks out. Nakakuha ng isa doon but Lloyd takes him down. Okay, hindi niya napigilan yung pagpasok ng Stallions sa B site. YBA takes down KLP and STS lugi ng isa in this retake. Make that 2 going down para sa Stallions. Si Rels umakyat sa taas. Lloyd trying to find vengeance for his teammate. Pero isa na sa RS, JJ. Naku po, kailangan mo makuha si Jason dito. Rel spotted and Jason taken down. Loy and JJ, what a recovery! And Loy with the double. 1v2 para kay YBA. Kaya ba itarim yung bomba dito, Chris?
The movement from Loy, packing a punch with a 5v2 that they were starting in. Ginawa pang ang dehado para kay Yaba. Will YBA clutch this out? The headshot machine has to be active. Pero so far, JJ and Loy have been on fire. Low on HP tong si JJ. Pero wala nang nades, wala nang kahit anong maibatong masasabog sa mukha nila. At si Loy pa nga ang susunod to get his headshot found kay Yaba. 4-3 tayo. Team Stallions, they brought it back from the brink.
Yep. And the only way they've been doing that is by sheer team play. Na-trade nila yung mga kills. Even with MATTJESS playing a lot of heavy contact, nasasagutan dito ng Stallions because of just how much more cohesive they are as a team. Leading by 1, Stallions. Pero parang hindi pa rin nila gamay ang laruan natin dito, MATTJESS. Sumasagot pa naman. At yung depensa dito ng MATTJESS, napakaganda.
Yeah. Fully expecting another full push from Stallions. Which honestly has given them yung mga decisive rounds na hinaharap nila so far. Where they didn't even need the 4v2s from the previous round that we've had. That's been the only thing that they got going for them na consistent. So if MATTJESS can fully channel back towards their aggressive routes later on, be a big thing. Pero Rel spotted yung ulo. Pero hindi masasaktan yung bungo ni JJ. Si KLP pa nga ang nadamay. Ginamitan ng isang bala para lang mapatay ang isa sa mga pinaka-importanting miyembro ng STS. 5v4 tayo. Double push up on LA. May presensya pa thanks to the nade, thanks to the flash that they got. Pero mukhang handa ang MATTJESS dito. Calling for the rotation, calling for the attention of Jason. Let's see if KLB can get the entry. Flash on in. Nade goes out, gets a little bit more of hesitation. No damage whatsoever from the KL brother so far as Loy will pick up the headshot. Jason down. And the anchors have to get activated. Rel spotted it. It will be another for KLB. A second from the IGL. Ninkyu and Zach, the last two players para sa MATTJESS. Spotted pa nga si Yaba. And also gets taken care of. 4v2 tayo. MATTJESS have to play retake.
At dalawa na lang sila dito. Ang ganda pa ng granada ni Loy. Kano takes down Nino. And that's STS with a definitive lead. 5-3. Nako po, Stallions, they did the MATTJESS special dun. Chris, 4-man execute into that A site. Barely any utility. Wala ngang smoke para sa exit. Pero tuloy-tuloy lang ang pagpasok nila. And MATTJESS getting a taste of their own medicine. Hindi nila napigilan makapasok ang Stallions dahil dyan siguradong lamang ang Stallions going into the second half. And MATTJESS have to try and change up their strategy in this last round of their defensive GR side. Mas konserbatibo ang depensa nila dito, Chris.
Kaya nga, hindi na kasi sapat yung mga anchors pa lang eh. Parang na-overwhelm sila. Hindi na rami-raming STS players na pumapadyak sa paliguan ng site. Loy, first contact found. Yaba gets another. Pero si KLP tatalon at binagsakan pa nga si Yaba.
Uy!
Si Rels na
Rels!
ng quick one papunta kay Loy. We'll get another para dito sa Stallions. Kano gets one. KLB also gets another. Si Ninkyu na lang pulls out the pistol and takes care of KLB. But at the end of the day, it is Stallions that get themselves a 6-3. Sobrang aggressive ng Stallions sa pagpasok sa loob ng A-site.
And you could definitely see why they didn't use a lot of utility pushing to the site. Tinipid nila para sa post-plant. Kaya nahirapan mag-retake doon ng matches. Tad-tad ng smoke at HE at flash yung exit. At wala silang madaanan doon dahil dyan 6-3 ang score natin dito as we go into the second half of Ankara. Team Stallions lead by 3 rounds.
And it's impressive then, the way that MATTJESS still have been performing with the rounds that they got. Despite this being a 3-6 for them, they have their own identity. Alam nilang kaya nilang may pagbakbakan in the duels and the aggressive fights. Pero STS kasi with the strat that they got and with the way that they adapt to the situation given to them by MATTJESS, it just puts them at a pedestal. Kitang-kita yung pressure from the moment that they get CA control, they're already locking out anybody na pwedeng mag-flank sa kanila. At kung may flank pa rin, titingnan pa rin yun ng STS. So, their homework has been covered, pero they can never stop the first blood from moving down. Zach gets the shot papunta kay Kano, and that's already the star player from STS gone, but they still have to deal with 4 other stars shining brightly on the server.
Napakaganda ng mga angulo lagi ni Zach dito, no? Even on the BL side, nakakahuli pa rin siya. And this time, it is cannot to fall down in RS, kaya pwedeng pumunta ng high mid dito ang mga player ng MATTJESS. Rels also has his TRG, pero si Loy, papasok ng CA, could be able to take down si YBA. At yung mga players ng MATTJESS nasa TB, papunta ng B-side, Chris.
So, spotted pa nga. Loy knows it, but Ninkyu already gets the entry on down. So JJ, the hotel player, is already out of commission. KLP, pistol out, gets himself one, gets himself two. KLP, the lone guard that they got on the site. Mukhang siya na lang ang kinailangan at siya pa nga ang tatapos. 3 kills for KLP, si YBA na lang. And with the bomb down, it's not gonna be possible. Almost with the flick shot. But it's Team Stallions. Thanks to Loy and KLP, they shut down the aggression from MATTJESS.
Yan, YBA with a valiant effort. Sinubukan niya talaga mag-flick to get the second player of Stallions, but it just wasn't enough. Mid-air, tinamaan na siya ng bala doon. And Stallions pulling the lead even further. 7-3 ang laban natin dito, Ramon. And MATTJESS have to dig deep. Remember, we talked about this sa map dito. Ankara is the map where they have the biggest chance of taking the win. And so far, KLP rather, dwindling those chances near zero. Ninkyu is down.
Oh my goodness, man. Kung ganito ka, init pa lang si KLP. And I'm a little bit worried about MATTJESS. They've been sweating for that mid-control. And with Ninkyu, one of the players na medyo ina-expect mo pa sana mag-pop off para lang magkaroon ng advantage ang MATTJESS. Siya pa nga unang napaslang. So it becomes an even taller task para sa MATTJESS na makasecure ng map control. 4v5 tayo. Double setup over towards that A site, giving MATTJESS on mid. A lot of space to breathe, and Loy spots out YB8, takes him down with the spray down. KLP pa nga ang nabigyan ng trade-off to give it a 3v4 for MATTJESS. Jason with a lot of space on that mid side. At least give them an ample amount of space to breathe in, pero still, may 2-2 setup pa rin ang Stallions on both sides of the map, kaya medyo covered na ang bases para sa kanila on the 1 minute mark.
JJ and RS, nakita na ni Rels, and here we have it, MATTJESS. When it comes to the duels, they are a powerhouse. JJ is down, papasok na nga ba ng A dito? Mukhang nagsiset up ng MATTJESS, Chris, and Roy is down.
Nako, ang ganda ng win con, pero may isa pa si KLB, spotted pa nga. Jason gets the double kill. Mukhang si Kano pa nga, the star player for STS, has to shine brightly on the server and already starts himself with one. Rels down, puts it in a 1v2. Zach and Jason sama-sama na spot pa nga ni Zach, does not hit the shot. Gives Kano another opportunity to clutch it down. 25 seconds. It's a may Ven spotted pa si Jason, and it's another headshot. It's a 1v1 and it's up against Zach. Pulls out the pistol, and Kano, the best Filipino player, shows everybody how it's done. A 3v1 clutch. Puts it up in 8 rounds para sa Team Stallions.
That has to be heartbreak para sa MATTJESS. Kano, what have you done? Inuubos niya na ang mga pangarap dito ng MATTJESS na makaakyat papunta sa China. 8-3 Kano, the Dream Crusher. Just securing every single round of this defense para sa Team Stallions. At hindi makalagpas ang MATTJESS kahit isa. Ay, Ramon. How does this feel for the players of MATTJESS in Ankara, the first set of the day? They are starting to crumble.
Not looking good, man. Their best shot so far on a first map win, dwindling by the minute. A 1v3 na na-isolate sana ni Kano would have given him the confidence. And all of that, dwindling so far. And with MATTJESS now, medyo na tagpa nga tong si Rels ng onte, spotting the Metacore jersey that we also have. Metacore is mentioned. Imagine. Last few days so far, but KLP has an idea, peeks it down almost like a lateral, but gets himself into anyway. Jason has to be careful about the second peak, so he does jump in towards the mid-side aggression. 4v5 tayo ngayon. STS noting the position so far up. MATTJESS, they know that one player is on tunnels. They know that KLP can actually get a little bit more aggressive with this. When will KLB strike? May isang tao doon sa position. Yaba spots him out. pa nga nito si KLP. Si Zack mukhang na-activate pa nga and takes care of Loy as well. 4v3, STS a little bit too aggressive on their mark and MATTJESS are punishing them by the second. KLB na lang. How will the leader step up? All of his troops, all of his soldiers are down for the count. Spotted pa nga ni Rels pero ang ganda ng flash na binato sa kanya. What will KLB do? 40 seconds after the bomb plant and Rels will take care of them. IGL to IGL. And with one perfect right hook, smack it to the face of KLB. 4-8 tayo ngayon.
And there you have it, MATTJESS picking up the round. Stallions with a little bit of a mistake, na-push sila ng medyo malalim doon and MATTJESS just punish them, individual players. Pero ito na, speaking of pushing, KLP, JJ, Kano, pick up one apiece. At yung MATTJESS walang matakbuhan, deep into bypass and RS, mag-isa na lang si Yaba. And he will go down to the hands of the superstar, Kano. Stallions, pick up set point.
Yan ang stampede na hinahanap natin from Team Stallions. From the get-go, you know that they're gonna be analyzing your every move. At kapag alam na nilang kaya ka nilang i-overpower, they will. Kano, fully pushing back on that mid side. From the tunnels we push, you know that he wants to get aggressive and he does so papunta kay Jason. It's JJ that also unlocks the second kill. MATTJESS fumbling from the pressure. Pero si Ninkyu lalaban pa. Si Loy gumugusto pa. Lumalapit papunta kay Ninkyu at sinampal pa nga sa muka. 4v2. Yaba and Zack. Last two bastions of hope, but Ankara is slowly fading from their fingers. Yaba just needing one shot and it's KLB to deliver. A 10-4 for Team Stallions, marking first blood on the BO5 special.
And look at the face of KLB. He knows he's done something special here in Ankara. Stallions take the win in set number 1. And a thunderous introduction sa playoffs dito, Ramon. 10-4 against MATTJESS.
Yep, and it's something that we kind of expected din para sa kanila, Stallions. It wasn't perfect, pare. Pero the way that they synced themselves comfortably into the matchup, nakita mo na yun From the moment that they had multiple flanks in a row and the times that they actually felt their retakes and the amount of times as well na nag-workout yung mga BL pushes nila dito, you could tell that it took only a couple of rounds para lang malaman natin that they are in playoffs form as we always expect them to be.
Yep. And you could see Stallions, they made a crucial mistake, but immediately in the round number 13, the round right after that, they switched it up. I mean, I called them out for a little bit of an individualistic mistake, but then they all pushed dito sa akyatan and got all the players of MATTJESS. Talagang tinapos na nila dito, Ramon. They immediately cut out that mistake and reinforced it by sending all 4 players deep into enemy lines. And it absolutely worked. This is how a well-oiled machine works, and this is how Stallions always take the podium and get to that international stage, is because they learn from each and every mistake.
And that's the thing, right? It's not always about the best mechanics. It's always about how you prepare, how you adapt as a team talaga. And with this, I think it is safe to say the Team Stallions really have the best mental out of everybody in the playoff stage so far. And that in itself is a very, very big weapon. We'll be throwing it over to the panel kay Bipolar at saka kay Sneaky Frog. Ang first set papunta sa Team Stallions. Paano kaya makakabawi ang MATTJESS dito, Bipolar?
I mean, maraming salamat mga casters. It's been a rough time for MATTJESS. I don't know, Ramon, if they can bounce back after this kasi Sneaky, it was a good start for both teams, pero parang nakawala bigla talaga yung Stallions natin dito. They just ran away with a 10-4 win.
I really feel like naramdaman natin lahat yung breakpoint ng laro na to. I think the early wasn't too bad para dito sa MATTJESS. In all honesty na pare, I feel like yung Stallions were playing a bit too passive. Yung first 4 rounds natin, I feel like they're trying to anticipate siguro yung aggression na gagawin na MATTJESS dito sa start ng game. But then, ayun nga, it kind of became a bit of a back and forth. Pero nagkakaroon talaga ng moments where Stallions really just do have a good, one good mid-round call, pare, and their momentum is off the charts. And may kita naman natin yun with the score.
Yeah, very much so. Talagang dire-diretso naman after the first half. I was also gonna be highlighting our players na kung saan maganda yung GR side dito ng matches. They were able to get like 3 rounds in the entirety of their 4 points here. Just because na-force sila maging team players. Nung nasa BL side na sila man, naghiwa-hiwalay sila, which I think is a crucial factor on battling out Team Stallions. A player base kung saan everyone is hitting a headshot percentage with above 0.4, 0.64 on KLB, 0.62 as well on Lloyd.
Yeah, still pretty much props dito kay Yaba, no? I really feel like he's kind of one of the few people that kind of, you know, stayed in, or at least made matches stay in for contention, no? Dito sa ating angkara na map. But at the same time, man, I mean, it's the usual suspects na naman. Loy, Kano, KLP. At the same time, pare, playoffs KLP may have arrived dito sa tournament natin. This has happened time and time again every single year. KLP, yun nga, no, granted naging 50-50 yung kanyang playoff performances from last year. I feel like there is gonna be a different demon inside of him, pare. But of course, the set MVP, it is gonna be Loy, the former MATTJESS entry ngayon turned into Stallion support player, pare. Grabe. I mean, Loy, it's been a revelation para sa kanya ever since he joined itong Stallions, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, he's a support player that is not entirely really set na support player ka lang, no. Loy is more than that. At dahil dyan, in a team wherein it's full of star players, Loy outshines them. Kapag nasa server na siya, kapag nasa mapa na siya, you know he will be providing these kind of angles, these kind of picks kung saan you're ultimately in a disadvantage, pero pag buhay pa rin si Loy, makakuha pa din kayo ng maraming wins and maraming gunfights that become in your favor. Nakita na natin dito, sometimes siya pa ang nauna in these kinds of pushes, but yeah, a great start nonetheless for Loy and his squad. 10-4, man, that is something that you should be looking forward to for our next 4 matches. Hopefully, umabot tayo sa best of 5 na pangmatagalan. But of course, first win in these sets goes to Stallions. Magbabalik po ang ating CFSPH Regional Finals for this set number 2.